What is up, everybody? Welcome to my betting portion of the week. This is my video that I put out all of my bets for the upcoming week. Just a cool way to kind of present it. It is called Rouslin's 3-Ball. What I do is I give you some opening round 3-ball bets as well. That's where I got the name from. And of course, that's where the PGA Tour has gone to in terms of what they've played. So that's just a little bit of synergy. You guys know, or the ones that follow me, know that I like to do at least some synergies to the game of golf. And if you don't follow me, find me on Twitter, at DFS Golfer 23. So let's go ahead and go right into my bets for the week. Of course, I always start off with this week's tournament is the 3M Open. The Tony and DFS preview real quickly. TPC Twin Cities is our host, par 71, 7,500 yards. Very easy to drive on, one of the longest driving distance courses and accuracy as well. It's an Arnie Palmer design. 6 of the top 30 are here to compete, so maybe a little bit different in terms of field strength than we're used to. DraftKings, $1 million first place. FanDuel I shouldn't say also. That was terrible segue. FanDuel decides to give us basically 25% of their prize pools that they've been giving us. Who knows why? They've had to put out secondaries and thirdaries and fourthdaries already now. Hopefully they won't do that to us again, as the golf product is certainly picking up steam over there. Okay, now let's go into our bets. Enough of my shenanigans, but before we do, I'm going to talk about the withdraws this week. So many withdraws. There was a ton, but only one confirmed due to COVID-19. Grayson Murray was that, so he'll be out 2 weeks. Other withdraws include Brendan Todd, Carlos Ortiz, and Jason Kokrak. Yes, I know 3 big names for this field. Maybe not big names for every field, but certainly for this one. All right, my player comparison week-long bet. This is a really interesting one, as the sites really differed here. Doc Redman, 8,700 on DraftKings, 9,900 on FanDuel, whereas Luke List is coming in 8,400 on DraftKings, 10,300 on FanDuel. Redman's coming off the missed cut, whereas Luke List is coming in off of a 10th place finish, so Doc Redman is a underdog in this fight. I like that. I'll take Doc Redman plus 100. Last week, I did try and chase something relatively similar. I chased Rory McIlroy plus 110 versus Justin Thomas, and it was looking good through 3 rounds, and then McIlroy shot 6 over on Sunday, whereas Justin Thomas came in at even par, a great round by him, so I ended up losing that bet. It looked good through 3 rounds, but that's why you play all of them. Okay, so this one, as I said, the week before that, though, Rocket Mortgage, Doc Redman had 21st, and the workday, Luke List missed the cut. So my model has them ranked 8th and 21st. Pretty big discrepancy. One of the reasons why I went to Doc Redman here. Another reason why I went to Doc Redman was this group bet this week. Only 3 options, but sometimes when you get a read on somebody, you like to try and explore that as much as possible, and that's mine with Doc Redman this week. He's going up against Patrick Rogers. It's 82 and 9,800, coming in off an 18th place at the Memorial, but the week before that had missed the cut at the workday. So it's not like he's coming in on good form or anything like that. Also in this group not pictured is Luke List. So Luke List would be the one that I'd be concerned about. But if I'm already betting him head-to-head, and he's the only one I'm concerned about in this group, then why not go ahead and bet the group bet as well? Try and win 3+3/+3/5 is Doc Redman. He's also going against Wyndham Clark, who's really been out of form, and Cameron Tringale, same thing, both coming in off a couple of missed cuts. Now we go into my week-long bets, which I have been very, very successful here since starting this. 4 weeks ago, I do 3 plays a week, and I have hit, in those 4 weeks, I've hit 5 top 20s, 2 top 10s, and 2 top 5s. All big payouts. This is my bomb section. I haven't had anybody lower on a top 20 6-1. So it's not like I'm picking favorites here or anything like that. This week I'm going with Satish Theegala, the young man out of Pepperdine. He has all the accolades to make it on tour, but has missed his first 2 cuts. I think he gets through pretty easily this week. We saw some young stars last year compete to win the tournament, and Matt Wolfman win it. So I like Satish Theegala, 11-1, 20-1, 60-1, 300-1. Obviously, I don't think he can win yet, but certainly top 20 if he gets through the cut, I think is not out of the question. Next guy, relatively similar price, is Derek Ernst. He's coming in off 3 straight top, I think it was 17s on the Korn Ferry Tour. Very, very good in terms of consistency. He's been on the PGA Tour as well. He's been a card holder before, so it's not like he's one of these guys that never gets in the field. In fact, he's in the field because he was playing out of that 126 to 150 category. So certainly, again, has some experience. 12 to 1 on the top 20 and playing good. I forgot to mention that too. 20 to 1 on the top 10, 70 to 1 on the top 5, and 300 to 1 to win on the winning side. Last guy is Scott Harrington. More of a play on driving. It looked last week like he had really good control of the ball and was gaining quite a bit of distance that he normally doesn't do. So Scott Harrington, 7,100, 8,300 on the sites, but 8 to 1, 16 to 1, 40 to 1, and 200 to 1 to win. He is a pretty solid player and seems to be coming into a swing, so I like him here this week in this short field. Plenty of other options there, too, in that top 20 range because of how short this field is. I shouldn't say how short, how weak this field is. There's 156 players, but it's a very weak field, so really anybody can make a move this week. So if you have a read on a player down below, definitely a good week to come out and do it. Okay, my last one, believe it or not, DraftKings is where I pull all of this bets from. So I apologize if you guys have found better bets. Let me know them. But my head-to-head bets for the first round, I really didn't like any. The reason why I didn't like any is because my number one was Doc Redman, and he was minus 136 versus Sean Stefani. So what I did there instead was I went and played Doc Redman versus Gomez and Stefani at plus 110, getting the plus 110 money. I'd rather do that than try and bet him straight up against Sean Stefani, who had a good year here last year. I think I just get better odds at the plus 110. I'm not worried about Fabio and Gomez, so that's why I went there and did it. As far as last week goes, forgot to bring up Brendan Steele easily beat Scotty Scheffler for a plus 130 there in that final round, so that was a nice payout. But Bjorn Wiesberger lost to Haotong Lee by 1, so that was a brutal beat there. Round 1 Showdown focus, sticking with the Doc Redman theme in 8,800. Basically held the lead last time he played after the first round last time, so likes to get off to a fast start. Tom Lewis also in that category, 7,100. Okay, so my other head-to-head bet that I was looking at was against Brooks Koepka, okay? And I didn't put it here because I don't like to have people bet something that looks so outrageous on paper, which is Charles Howell was the bet versus Brooks Koepka. That's what's being offered. And, as bad as Brooks might be hurt, I still think he could probably beat Charles Howell. So even though Charles Howell is plus 160, it just didn't feel good enough for me to actually put some money on it. Instead, again, I went to Keith Mitchell plus 260, who seemed to find form in a paycheck last week. Been putting really well. We know he's a good ball striker. So I'm looking for that again here this week, or at least on Thursday. That's how I'm playing the Brooks Koepka injury, hoping that Mitchell can beat Howell. Last one is Scott Harrington, who I just mentioned. He's plus 240 versus Sam Burns and Ben Martin. Now, Sam Burns has been playing very good, don't get me wrong, but I just found if I'm not worried about Ben Martin, plus 240 against Sam Burns seems like really good odds, so I'm giving it to Scott Harrington there. Okay, those are my round 1 bets and my week-long bets. Hopefully, you have been joining me here. I've, like I said, had a pretty decent run and look to go about that next week. When the Euro Tour goes to a Thursday start, I'm going to start to add in a few bets from there as well, the top 10 and top 20s. But they've been doing a Wednesday start. A little too early for me to get this video out on a Wednesday. So until next time, everybody, join, of course, Jazz Raz and I on our Live Before Lock show tonight, 8:30 on our YouTube channel. The same way you're probably watching this here, unless you're listening to it on your podcast. Then you won't be seeing it on YouTube. But till next time, everybody, I wish you the best of luck, and cheers. We'll see you on the other side.